How to prepare, pitch, and become a TV guest. A personal message from the author, Bart Smith, tvguest.com founder. That's me. Hey, thanks for picking up this book and listening to the audio program for this book on how to become a TV guest. What's my story? Well, I'm the author of 25 books and more coming. Who wants to market and promote them, share my messages, help others, and make a living doing so, among other things. Pretty simple, eh? How many authors and those with a message to share, an experience or expertise can relate to those goals? I wonder, right? Perhaps millions. The question becomes, how do you go about marketing your books, your message, and expertise, or your experiences, and make a living doing such if that's your passion? Sure, there are dozens of traditional ways to market products and services online and offline, but what's one marketing tactic almost guaranteed to get you in front of potentially millions of people, boost your credibility in minutes, and make you potentially hundreds of sales within 24 or 48 hours? The first thing that comes to my mind, for me, is to be a TV guest on one or more TV shows so you're on your way to accomplishing all those goals and many more really fast. So back in 2004, before YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and social media, I had the technical and marketing wisdom to register the domain name tvguest.com with the intentions of building a directory website one day of experts, including myself, who aspire to be found, vetted, and invited onto TV talk shows as TV guests to share their story, their expertise, their experiences, etc. Well, for years, I kind of remained underground, writing books, book after book after book, until I said to myself, it's time to get out there, get high-profile exposure for what you've got to share or sell, generate leads, make sales, and live life on the high road. No more writing books. That's it for a while, okay? Don't write any more books. No, seriously, okay. Well, a few years ago, I had a similar concept for speakers, which was to build a speaker directory website that showcased speakers and the topics they could speak on to different audiences. Some speakers actually used their profile as their website. That was interesting, I thought. Sure, that website is called speakercafe.com, and it's still up. Well, building those speaker profiles by myself proved to be a little more involved than I wanted, technically speaking. So I took a break from the project and went back to writing more books. I've written about 7 more books since I built speakercafe.com, one of which was my cookbook, Who's Hungry? I can't wait to get on some morning TV shows or news or other talk shows and make the host and their audience one of my world-famous omelets, maybe a pizza, my salad, my sandwich, my burgers, my yakisoba stir-fried noodle dish with mixed seafood, maybe my party smoothie, or whatever they want. My relationship books are also perfect for TV shows that wish to discuss the many aspects and problems going on in relationships today. So, after putting a cap on my book writing activities, I thought, Bart, it's time to revisit tvguest.com. Build that website yourself and fast, and with directory software, so experts can create and manage their own tvguest.com profile listings. Then, launch it with all the marketing for my own books in their respective niches, online and offline. Start speaking, start coaching, start selling, create videos on YouTube. You got it. All right, well, you get the idea. tvguest.com is my way of helping those who work in the TV show industry who are responsible for finding guests for their TV shows. Make that process as seamless, quick, and as headache-free as possible. Simply, tvguest.com helps TV show people, number 1, find experts. Number 2, learn about these experts by reading over a handful of profiles within a niche category in seconds. And number 3, contact these experts via phone or email because their contact information is made publicly available on their profile listing for TV show industry people to act on right then and there. It doesn't get any easier than that. Add to the fact that tvguest.com is such an easy name to remember. How could any TV show personnel forget where to go when they need a guest for their TV show? They can't. Oh, I'll just go to tvguest.com and find someone to have on my show next week to talk about XYZ topic. Done. Hey, I'll do that today when I get to the office. Now, why am I so confident that tvguest.com will help me and others get on TV? Well, because TV show producers, hosts, and personnel responsible for booking guests have a new and exciting online resource they can turn to in a hurry when they need to find a guest for their TV show today, tomorrow, this week, next week, you name it. You see, if I were in their shoes, I wouldn't have time to scour the internet looking through search engine results to find a guest for my show. Even if I had contacts in the business and I were to ask, hey, who do you know who could be an expert in such and such topic? They could easily say, I don't know, but I'll keep my ears open for someone. Well, that wouldn't help meet a deadline, would it? They could turn to publicity agencies and speaker bureaus or websites online that are geared to help reporters and other find experts, but sometimes those websites don't have exactly what they need to read quickly in a certain format so they can get the information they need to create a story for their next TV show. From this day forward, instinctively and without hesitation, what will be the website that pops into the minds of TV people around the world who need guests for their shows? Drumroll, tvguest.com. Yeah, and why not? I would. I'd go to tvguest.com to find the category I need to find my expert TV guest in. Read through a few bios, watch a few videos, and if I found my candidate, I'd find their phone number on their profile listing and I would call them. Depending on how the conversation goes, I just might have found my guest. We'd share information, go over particulars about how to be on the show, book the guest, start working on the show, and Elbamo, that expert just got picked out of the crowd of thousands to be a TV guest on my next TV show. Not bad. All I can say now is rinse and repeat. The next time that TV show person needs another guest, where do you think they'll go? tvguest.com. Again and again and again and again. I'll give you a quick real-life example where something like this occurred to me. Many years ago, I got a random call from Playboy XM Radio asking me if I'd like to be a guest on their radio show for one of my books. They found me online. They reached out to me because I had my phone number on my website. They called me, we spoke, and after our conversation, decided to invite me to be a guest on their radio show. Of course, I was thrilled and said yes without hesitation. While I had them on the phone, I asked for their mailing address so I could mail them some of my world-famous chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, bartscookies.com. You can imagine they were more than excited to receive them, let alone seeing that offer coming. I, of course, included my books in the box so they could sample my books and my cookies as a little gift. When I arrived at their studio in Los Angeles, California, I waited patiently in the office and then outside the studio room for them to call me in. Well, when they called me in, I walked in with more books and more cookies because I knew that the first thing out of their mouth was going to be, "Did you bring cookies?" Hey, I know how to treat and feed those who have me as a guest on their show. The interview turned into a live, on-air, 3.5-hour interview. It was only scheduled to be 45 minutes. It turned into 3.5 hours, which they had never done before with any guest. They even turned off the phones so we could just talk uninterrupted. Never before did the producer see them do that, turn off the phones. In fact, it was at the 3.5-hour mark that the producer said, "Hey ladies, we got to get this guy out of here. There are others waiting to use the studio." Sure enough, I glimpsed through the producer's window, and there were 5 people waiting to get in line to use the studio. Yikes. Well, it was a great interview. We all had so much fun discussing relationship topics and chowing down on some of my world-famous chocolate chip cookies. When I got home that night, little did I know there would be upwards of $1,000 in book and audio sales waiting for me in my email inbox within an 8 to 10 hour window of conducting that interview for my book, Laws of the Bedroom. I said to myself, that was a nice day's work. I remember another friend of mine, an author who wrote a book about hair loss, who was on TV as a TV guest on a very popular TV talk show. That one talk show, she sold upwards of 10,000 books, having been, just like I said, on that one TV show. 10,000 books. Yikes. So while my mind was processing all this, I knew one day I'd love to help increase my own odds, and others too, for getting on TV, to share my story, help others, make sales, enjoy life. The list goes on, folks. So whether I'm reaching out to TV stations on my own, or I get a random call out of the blue to be on a show, or someone is pitching my expertise on my behalf, having my own profile listing on tvguest.com just helps to expedite the whole process of, "Hi, I'd like to be on your show. Hi, thanks for calling me. Hey, here's someone I recommend you have on your show. Great, who is he or she? Well, look at their profile on tvguest.com/their name and see if they would be the perfect guest for your next show." As they say, help the media do their jobs. And in this case, help them find you fast and invite you to be a guest on their show by having your own profile listing on tvguest.com. Now, having said all that and sharing my story, let's dive right into all the questions you might have or you might not know to ask about how to prepare, pitch, and become a TV guest on a TV show. Come on, let's dive into all those questions and their answers right now.